In this video, we are going to compare numbers. How does one identify a number that is greater than or less than a given number to 1,000? Let's first look at the symbols for comparison. So the symbol for greater than is the symbol here. And we have a picture here of looks like an alligator. And on the left side, we have 4 objects, and on the right side, we have 2 objects. The open end of this symbol will always be facing the greater amount of objects, and it will always be pointing to the amount of objects that is less. And when we write it and read it, we would read it as 4 is greater than 2. Now let's look at the symbol for less than. Less than, and you're still going to be pointing to this. The symbol still points to the smaller amount, and it's open towards the greater amount, but we just read it differently, and it goes from left to right. 2 is less than 4. Now let's compare 321 and 236 now that we reviewed the symbols for greater than and less than. I have 2 tables here, place value tables with hundreds, tens, and ones. And we always want to focus on the greatest place value for whatever numbers are given to you. And the greatest place value in these 2 numbers are the hundreds place value. So we have 300 and we have 200. And we know that 300 is more than 200. Therefore, 321 is more than 236. And we would read it as 321 is greater than 236. Compare 241 and 421. Now, instead of the place values being side to side, I've written one table and I have placed the digits in the correct place value. So we have the ones, the tens, and the hundreds, and we would read it going across 241 and 421, which are our 2 numbers here. Now we can focus on the hundreds because it's the greatest place value for these 2 given numbers. And I know that 200 is less than 400. Therefore, 241 is less than 421. Now, using the symbol and reading from left to right, it reads 241 is less than 421. Now let's compare 101 and 999. Now in this case, I'm not going to draw a table, but I am going to line up the ones, the tens, and the hundreds. So here's the number 101 and 999. Our greatest place value is going to be the hundreds. And we have 100, and we're going to compare it to 900. And we all know that 100 is less than 900. Therefore, 101 is less than 999. 101 is less than 999. On a piece of paper, compare the following numbers. Explain your answer. I'd like you to pause the video and try this out on your own. Okay, so I would write 251 and below that 246, making sure I line up my digits in the correct place value. I can see right away that I'm going to focus on my hundreds, and we have 200 and 200. And 200 is the same as 200. What do we do next? Well, we are going to go to the place value to the right, and we're going to compare the tens. This is the tens column. So we have 5 tens, and it is more than 4 tens. So when we write this down, we see that 251 is more than 246. 251 is greater than 246. For number 2, let's just compare 821 and 97. And I have my ones column, tens column again, and hundreds. Now I'm going to focus on the greatest place value, and it is in the hundreds. So I'm going to compare the hundreds. I have 800, and I have 0 hundreds for 97. And 800 is more than 0 hundreds. Therefore, 821 is more than 97. 821 is greater than 97. I hope you found this video useful.